All right, this video is going to talk about the assignments for week 7. So before we jump into the discussion forum, I do want to let you know that this is, we have our final group office hour this week. It is Tuesday the 11th from noon to 1. So if you haven't made it, be sure to make it. Otherwise, you will miss out on these points. If you have already made it, but have something on your mind or just find these helpful, please come. Remember to get full points for the assignment. You don't have to bring anything. You don't have to prepare anything. I guess bring questions, bring course feedback. I'm going to be asking for that information. So you don't have to do anything to prepare, but to get points, you do have to have your screen on the entire time and be present. And then you can be muted, but you have to be visible. And then you have to stay for the entire length of the group hour for a maximum of 1 hour. So sometimes we don't take the full hour. So if we end early, great, but you do have to stay at least the length of the meeting or the hour, whichever one occurs first. So I guess what I'm saying is if the meeting goes over an hour, you'll still get points if you can't stay for the rest of it. Okay, so last opportunity, make it. I look forward to seeing everybody there. So let's jump into the discussion forum for this week and talk a little bit more about what we're doing. So again, chapter 6 in our textbook, looking at addiction across the lifespan. So for your primary posts, you are going to pick number 1, pick 2 of Erickson's psychosocial developmental stages and identify potential risk and protective factors that may influence a person's substance use or risky behavior at each of these stages. And number 2, how would you modify your approach to working with an individual in each of these stages to address risk factors and promote protective factors? So really you kind of have question number 1, you kind of have A and B, right? So question number 1A is this stage. Question number 2B or 1B is this stage. And then number 2, you might do the same thing. And 2A, this is how I would work with an individual in this stage. And 2B, this is how I would work with an individual in this other stage. In your response posts, number 1 says, in reviewing your classmates' posts, what are some other considerations that they might make as they work with individuals at the identified stages in their life? So guess what? Again, I think we've had this in previous posts. There's so many considerations that we're likely to have missed some. So that's normal. What other things would you consider that might help your classmate if this was really a client that was presenting for them, right? And then number 2, are there any ages that you are drawn to working with, any ages that you are reluctant to work with, and share why? So I know this can be a little confusing because you have 2 response posts, and this might be the same, but this is one question, but I want you to tailor it also to your classmate. So, wow, you talked about, you talked about working with this population. I've always been reluctant to work with this population, and this is why, right? So I'm connecting that back to what my classmate is saying. So answer all of those questions. Remember to format appropriately. Remember to cite course materials in both your initial post and your response post. Due dates Wednesdays and Fridays, like the rest of like the other ones. And lastly, remember just notes on confidentiality and the grading criteria for these assignments. So I'm really looking forward to what considerations you identify and what ages you are drawn to, or what ages you kind of might be shying away from. So thanks everybody for your participation in this. As always, I'm here if you have questions, if you need clarification, if you need feedback, reach out. Thanks everyone.